Yeah, I think the thought process of surfing big waves, whether it's paddling or towing, is the same. You just got to want it. You know, like, you've got to really want it, and you've got to commit to it. And that's hard. You know, it's hard to do because you're putting yourself in positions which aren't really always ideal, and really wanting it and being committed and putting it on the line, and that's the thought process, you know. And any element of doubt or hesitation is just, it can be really dangerous.
In February of this year, Andrew Cotton put himself at the forefront of big wave surfing after riding a giant wave off the coast of Portugal.
And I knew it was big, but I didn't know how big, or, you know, and it's not till you get back on dry land and you look at a couple of photos, you're like, whoa, is that me? Or you look at the footage and you're like, oh my goodness, that was actually ginormous. And that's when the sort of, the reality hits, and the you know, and then all the media commotion that comes along with that.
With initial reports suggesting that he'd ridden an 80-foot wave, the biggest of all time, Cotton found himself inundated with requests from the world's media. It all came as something of a shock to the 34-year-old Englishman, who makes his living as both a plumber and a lifeguard amidst the idyllic surroundings of the North Devon coast. Cotton began surfing aged 7, and like many of his contemporaries, he harboured dreams of becoming a pro surfer when he was growing up. But in his early 20s, whilst his friends concentrated on the sport's more stylistic elements, he became drawn to riding bigger and bigger waves.
It's not like I didn't wake up and go, right, I'm going to be a big wave surfer. It's just, it's the slow, gradual baby steps, you know. You slowly get more and more comfortable in bigger waves, and, you know, when I was, you know, 19, you know, like 8 foot was massive for me, you know, like, and that was a big wave. And it's just, you know, I'm 34 now, and I've been plugging away at it and never giving up, and just striving to surf bigger and bigger waves, and, you know, it doesn't happen overnight.
Back in the 1960s, the cult movie Endless Summer followed 2 young surfers around the world in search of the perfect wave. Cotton follows an endless winter. He tracks the biggest storms and swells on the planet, and if the conditions look favourable, he tries to ensure that he's in the right place at the right time.
You're in the hands of the ocean and the weather, and you can put a time on that. You don't know when. It could be tomorrow, it could be next year, you know. And that's kind of tough. And that's tough to be ready. You need to be ready all the time and all winter, you know. Like, you never know when that wave will come.
Although English-born surfer Martin Potter won the ASP world title in the 1980s, Britain has never been a major player on the global board riding stage. That's even more the case with big wave surfing, which was traditionally dominated by riders from Hawaii, the sport's spiritual home. But over the last couple of decades, with satellite technology aiding the discovery of new big wave locations around the world, the sport has become accessible to a much wider demographic. Cotton's local break is Croyd Bay. It's one of England's best-known surf spots and has played host to numerous national-level competitions over the years. When conditions are flat, Andrew swaps his surfboard for a paddleboard to help maintain a basic level of fitness. However, the extreme physical demands of big wave riding have prompted Cotton to engage the services of personal trainer Andy Blake.
As far as surfing big waves, you need to be able to work at high intensities with a lot of oxygen debt. So we work quite a lot at working that's called an anaerobic threshold, so he can recover quicker, he can recover faster. He can still work when he's out of breath. And then the other side is surf-specific movements, making sure he's got good muscular endurance and good mobility, because specifically for big wave surfers, they have to be able to be mobile around the joints because there's going to be some big impacts. So if you're more mobile, there's less likelihood of injury.
Blake and Cotton go back a long way. They both grew up in North Devon and originally met in their early teens when they would surf and train together.
He's a very laid back, very humble sort of guy. When he's been off surfing a world record wave, the most you hear about it is when you see it on the news. Like if you talk to him about it, he's very humble and he's very like, yeah, it was all right, and it's hard to get it out of him. But in that sense, he's very laid back, very quiet, very shy. But he's also he's an extreme person. Like he does everything in extremes. So obviously his training, he goes 110% into his training. He's very disciplined as far as that goes, and it's that in all areas of life. He's always like that. He's extreme.
Pushing the boundaries of big wave riding has taken its toll on Andrew's body. He's twice ruptured the cruciate ligaments in his left knee and suffered numerous minor injuries. Married with 2 young children, Cotton has more than just himself to consider when confronting the might of the ocean.
For me, I think it's having a wife and family, and it's made me better. You know, it's made me more professional. It's made me more tuned in. Like I don't cut corners on the safety. I don't cut corners on the training. It's just everything is stepped up again because you have to be. You know, and I think it's actually helped me be more focused. Really, you know, you don't want to be catching your last wave. You want to be catching your next wave. You know, and looking forward to the next big swell or the next big wave. Or so I think it's helped me be more focused.
As a result of his exploits in Portugal, Andrew made the shortlist for the Billabong XXL Big Wave Awards in Los Angeles. He took his family along to the event, which is known as Surfing's Oscars, and although he narrowly missed out on the top prize, with the wave he rode in Portugal judged to have been only around 60 feet, his presence in LA further cemented his reputation as one of the sport's elite. Cotton's quest to ride the biggest wave in history is being made into a documentary series called Behind the Lines. The current record stands at a daunting 78 feet and is held by his friend and tow-in partner Garrett McNamara. Andrew Cotton is one of a few surfers on the planet who's capable of raising the big wave bar even higher.